Alright, so here is again the story. Generally speaking, you've seen backbending taught on the back, and that is good for some people, okay? For the Camilas of the world, for the Jennifers of the world, the people that have very flexible spines, you can do backbends in the full wheel and get a very effective pose, okay? But for the greater part of the world, it's not really the best way to get into the spinal action of backbending. And I'm going to draw the reason why that is now. Okay. Now for beginners, it's going to be the baby bridge. They're going to lie on their back, they're going to lift their hips up, they're going to interlace their fingers under their hips, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine, and that's a very reasonable thing to do. Okay? Lie on their back, hips up. Okay, the knees are bent, obviously, the hips are up, and they're interlacing the fingers around there. That's good, that's baby bridge. Okay. Now, the issue that I'm taking, though, and what I want to explain is why it is that the full wheel position is not the most effective backbends for most people. And in its place, actually, the standing backbends are a more logical selection. Okay? And here's why. Okay? If you've ever seen, in order for a backbend to exist, there has to be 180 degrees somewhere. Okay? This is 180 degrees, half circle. Does that make sense? Okay. So because this is the feet and these are the hands, somewhere along the way 180 degrees has to exist. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Now for people that have flexible spines, their arms are straight, their legs are straight, okay, and the greater majority of the 180 degrees is in the actual spine itself. Okay, that's what Camila looks like, that's what Jennifer looks like. There's people that have very flexible spine. They can straighten their arms all the way, right? The spinal action's in the back, and then they have their legs almost straight, but not all the way straight. Okay, now, what happens for most people? What do most people look like? Most people look like this. Hands, elbows, okay? Elbows, maybe a little back bend, not really, and then knees and feet. So you have 90 degrees in the elbows, and you have 90 degrees in the knees bending, and you have absolutely nothing in the back. Can you see that picture? Okay. This is the reason why the full wheel is not useful for many, many people. Okay? Not mentioning injuries about how this kind of a situation is a lot of pressure on the wrists, a lot of pressure in the shoulders, not even talking about that, assuming that it's not going to hurt the person. It's just not a back bend. This is an exercise in bending your knees and an exercise in bending your elbows. Okay? That's why we use standing back bends against the wall, and you have the person who's standing keep their legs straight and then do their best to get everything that they can get in the back and not in the knees bending. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, that's the overview of why it is more logical for most people to use standing backbends. Now, standing backbends is not for everybody. It's not for brand new beginners who have weak spinal muscles. Okay, in order to do standing backbends correctly, you have to have a bit of back strength. You have to have done that locust pose with the Superman, right? You have to build your back muscles, the ones that support you as you go back. It's the same reason why brand new beginners can't just drop right back very easily unless they have gymnastics training. It's because we need a bit of those muscles to support your spine as you're going to drop back. Okay? How do we build those muscles? Easy. Superman locust. Okay? All that locust stuff. Even peacock, but peacock's obviously an advanced version of that. Okay? So, we're going to teach in our set, we're going to teach bridge. Baby bridge. Hips up, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulder blades together, lift the hips up. Because that's good for a good segment of the population. Okay? People that are very flexible are going to be very happy to do this version, the full wheel. But everybody else, you're going to, over time, want to bring them to the wall. And that's what we're going to teach, is how to teach standing backbends. Because standing backbends is a spinal action, whereas this is a elbow bending, knee bending action. Okay? That's the overview. Question?